spiritual momentum for advancement. I am excited that we can continue to interrogate that phrase, soaring high, because the very idea of soaring high is so attractive to the natural man and on face value that it gives an impression that things are going to get better and that you can live a better life beyond the unfulfilling and undesirable way you live life today. So the subject itself is attractive, it's endearing, and the reason why the average human being gets attracted to this kind of subject matter, or in a way when they hear thoughts of life becoming better, is because there is a knowing inside every human being. Even though it may be subdued, there is that knowing that we were created to rule and not to be ruled. There is an instinct, there is an understanding in every human being, whether the person admits it openly or understands it clearly or not. There is something in man that tells man instinctively that he is not meant to be subject to the elements of the world, that he is meant to rule, that he is meant to be better than the conditions he is in. And that's why a lot of people are not satisfied with where they are, and for lack of knowing how better to improve their life, they complain because they are not satisfied. And that's to tell you that men, generally human beings, do not like to be ruled over. They don't like to be in need. It is not in man to desire to be poor, for instance. And so when you hear the idea of something that can make your life better, people jump at it. I'll use the example of a lion in a cage. A lion may be born in a cage at a zoo, and in all the lion's life, it is restricted in a cage, and that cage becomes its natural habitat. It does not know jungle. It does not know moving around in the thick forests hunting for prey. They bring fresh meat to the lion, and constantly the lion sees people coming to, have a view of it. And zookeepers still do not let loose the lion that has not understood forest life enough to know how to hunt for himself. Do you know that if you stay in an environment long enough, ordinarily there is a tendency for you to think that there is no life outside that place, especially if you were born there, you went to school in that environment, you started working there, you got married, you started having children. The idea of other places may sound to you like foreign. It's not natural. And if indeed the lion has got his natural habitat in a cage at the zoo, why does the zookeepers not remove the lion from the cage so that it can move around and we can touch it? Since the lion had never gone out, the lion had never pursued anything, the lion had not really fended for itself, why do they still keep the lion in a cage? Do you know the answer? The lion is still kept in the cage because even the zookeeper understands that there is an instinct in the lion that when there is no restriction, its wild nature comes into being. The giraffe can be left because there is no instinct in the giraffe or the other animals like monkeys to hurt people. But the lion, even though it's born in a cage, is still caged for life in the zoo because people come around. It had never smelled the blood of a human being before. It had never preyed on a human being before. They had always given the lion fresh meat in the cage. But if you let loose the lion that had lived in the cage for decades, the natural instinct in the lion will come alive. The lion is dangerous instinctively, naturally. It is dangerous. It's the same way for us human beings. We may not know that God has created us to rule the world, but there is an instinct in man, even in his unregenerated nature, in his unregenerated spirit, that says, I am more than this, I am better than this. That's why when the man receives Christ into his life and starts the journey of rediscovery, it is always difficult for the sleeping lion in the man not to roar. And it is almost impossible for his spirit not to begin to actually soar and live the life that God created him to live. Praise God. So if you like, the lion that is in the cage has his capacity to prey on other animals subdued because of a cage. And so the believer's capacity to roar in life and soar high in life may be caged for lack of knowledge. But once you put knowledge to work, that lion nature in man comes alive. That capacity to soar comes alive.